All right, we're back at it again, ladies and gents. I decided after looking at some of the chapters that we have that I would go back and do chapter one since we haven't done that yet, and it kind of works really well with doing factors. In fact, we might have should have done that first, but whatever. At least we'll know what we're doing now. So we're going to go back and do some ratios, which are just fractions and rates and factors and multiples. So a couple of vocabulary words you needs to know is greatest common factor and least common multiple. So we'll start with the greatest common factor. All right, the greatest common factor is just as it sounds. Oh, my goodness. I'm on a roll already tonight, guys. All right, so the greatest common factor is the greatest of all of the common factors of two or more numbers. Also called GCF, right? And then remember that a factor is parts of a multiplication problem. So this is a factor, this is a factor, okay? Least common multiple, also the way it sounds. The least common multiple is the least non-zero, which basically means zero is not an option, number that is a multiple of two or more whole numbers. All right, also called LCM. All right, that is going to kind of look like multiples of 2 would be 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 3 is 6, 2 times 4 is 8. These are all multiples of 2. All right, let's work on some greatest common factor problems and show you how to do the steps of greatest common factor. All right, I want to find the GCF of 16 and 24. All right, my first step is to make a factor tree. So I'm going to use a factor tree to find the prime factors of each number. Kind of do this in a little bit of a column. All right, so I'm going to use a factor tree of 16 and 24 to get the prime factors. So 16 is 2 times 8. 8 is 2 times 4. I got to keep going until I get all my prime numbers. Oops, that should be a 2. 4 is 2 times 2. So I have a prime here, prime, 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 right? I can't go any lower than those prime numbers. All right, 2 times 12 is 24, which is also 2 times 6, which is also 2 times 3, and those are all prime numbers. I can't go down any further than that. Step 2, now I'm going to take those prime numbers and I'm going to list them. So list the prime factors. So I have 16 My prime factors are 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Okay, those are my prime factors of 16. My prime factors of 24 is 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. All right, and then I'm going to circle all the common ones. And then multiply them together. Sometimes you won't have very many. I don't know why I wrote togethers, but erase the whole thing. All right, so here are my common factors. I have pair of twos, pair of twos, pair of twos, and then I have a 2 and a 3, which there's no pairs to those. So I have 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. So my GCF of 16 and 24 is 8. All right, let's do a couple more. Greatest common factor examples. All right, how about the GCF of 12 and 16? All right, so first thing I'm going to do is do my factor trees. So 12 is 2 times 6. 6 is 2 times 3. All of these are prime, so I can't go any further. 16 is 2 times 8. 8 is 2 times 4. 4 is 2 times 2. Prime numbers, can't go any further. So listing them out, I have 16. Oh, sorry, let's go 12 first. 12 is 2 times 2 times 3. 16 is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Step 3, I'm going to circle. Here's a pair. Here's a pair. I don't have any 3s down here. I don't have any more 2s up there, so that's all I can do. So my GCF is going to be 2 times 2, which is 4. So my greatest common factor of 12 and 16 are 4. All right, how about, oh, let's try that again. How about the greatest common factor of 24 and 30? All right, first thing to do, factor trees. So I have 24, 30. 24 is 2 times 12, which is 2 times 6, which is 2 times 3, all prime numbers. 30 is 3 times 10, 2 times 5, all prime numbers. So I have 24 equals 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. And 30 equals 3 times 2 times 5. I'm going to go through and circle my pairs. Oh, I have a pair of 2s here. And I have a pair of 3s. I don't have any more 2s or 5s. So my GCF then should be 2 times 3 equals 6. Okay, easy peasy, not too hard. All right, let's look at least common multiple then. All right, so to find my least common multiple, I also have 3 steps. Let's go with least common multiple of 2 and 3. Now there are 2 ways of doing this, and I'm going to show you both ways because it really depends on how big of a number you've got going on. So my step 1 is list the non-zero multiples of both numbers. Okay. Oh, I forgot my 1 over here. All right, so I have a really bad problem with drawing lines, but you guys already know that. All right, so I have 2 and 3. So I can easily list these. So 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 3 is 6, and I can skip count, right? 12, 14. All right, same with 3. 3 times 1 is 3, 3 times 2 is 6, 3 times 3 is 9, 12, so on and so forth, okay? But I want to find the least common multiples, okay? So my step 2 then is circle the common multiples. In this case, my common multiples are 6 and 12. I could keep going and have more, but I really don't want to because I want the smallest, right? Least means smallest. So I have 6 and 12. And step 3 is really, tell me which one's the smallest. And the smallest one is the least. So therefore, 6 is my least common multiple of 2 and 3. All right, if for some reason you have bigger numbers, like let's say I want to find the least common multiple of 14 and 21, you're going to use the prime factorization tree. For each number. Okay, so in this case, I have 14 and 21. So this is 2 times 7, both are prime. This is 3 times 7, okay, both are prime. So I don't have to go any further, but if I had even numbers, I'd probably be going for a little while longer. Then step 2 is multiply the factors. Let's clarify that. Multiply all the factors using the common ones only once. All right, so I have 2 times 7 times 3, and I can't use the 7 again because that's the common one. So 2 times 7 times 3, I want to go 7 times 3 is 21, times 2 gives me 42. So my least common multiple of 14 and 21 is 42. All right, I think we've got time for maybe one more practice problem. So I want to find the LCM of 2 and 6. We can do this one fairly quickly. So 2 and 6, 2 times 2 is 1, 4. Okay, so my recording messed up. So hopefully, I'm not sure where it ended up at, but we're going to find the least common multiple of 12 and 27. To do that, I'm going to make a factor tree. So this is 2 times 6, 2 times 3. This is 3 times 9, 3 times 3. And then this is not common, this is not common. I have one of these that are common, not common, not common. So then I got to multiply 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. This is 4 times 9, which gives me 36. So my least common multiple should be 36. All right, go ahead and do the knowledge check, and we will see you in the morning.